What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mad Blood. My name is Matt, and today I want to talk about the rise and fall of Scream 5 and Scream 6, which came out in 2022 and 2023. Now, right off the bat, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise, and I enjoy every single movie for the most part in the entire franchise. I know a lot of people have said this before, but I think Scream is one of the more consistent horror franchises that are out there, and I like every single movie in the franchise. But like I said, specifically, I want to talk about Scream 5 and Scream 6 today, and some of the just ups and downs in both of these movies, because they definitely have some for sure. Some great moments, some moments where you're just like, what is going on here? What is the direction here? What is the thought process here? And then, like I said, also some moments where you're just like, this is really damn new, fresh, great, and just what I love about Scream. So let's get right into it and talk about Scream 5. So when Scream 5 came out, the franchise was on an 11-year hiatus at that time. We'd been itching, Scream fans, for more Scream movies, and we're excited to finally get a new one. And of course, when they announced that a lot of the legacy characters were going to be coming back, Sidney, Dewey, Gale, that was great. You know, really, really excited for that. So very hyped for Scream 5 when it was released. So some of the things that are interesting to me with Scream 5 and some of my gripes with Scream 5, I'll mention right off the bat some of the stuff. Of course, the intro to Scream 5. Yes, we have Jenna Ortega, and yes, she does a fantastic job with her role in the introduction of Scream 5. But to me, it's one of my least favorite intros in the entire franchise. There's really nothing that shocking in the intro to Scream 5. So right off the bat, you're kind of like, that was fine, but that doesn't blow me away after all these years of not having Scream. And this is a franchise that's so well known for, its introductions in each of the movies being so iconic, especially the original. But so this intro was just kind of fine to me. You know what I mean? Nobody dies in the intro. There's some stuff here that's repetitive, which is supposed to happen in this movie with what they were going for. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But the intro, just right off the bat, you're kind of like, it's fine, not bad, but not great also. So obviously Scream 5 was supposed to usher in this new cast, toss the baton, as you will, from the legacy characters to the new characters. We've got characters like Sam, Mindy, Chad, Amber, Richie, etc., etc. There's other characters as well, of course. But so in Scream 5, especially when compared to Scream 6, the core four, you could call them, and some of the new characters that they're trying to introduce were not as good in this movie as they were in Scream 6. Obviously, more reps make you better, more familiar with the material. With Scream 6, that's enough to be said. But still, in Scream 5, we could have gotten more from some of the characters, like Sam. There was a lot of criticism, with Sam's character from, the fans of the franchise and stuff like that. And I think her character and the actress did a great job, Melissa Barrera, with her role. I think she's a great actress with a ton of talent. But the way her character was written was kind of iffy to me, and she just wasn't just that great of a character in Scream 5 to really pass the baton, especially from a character like Sidney, who is just one of the greatest horror icons ever. Obviously, huge shoes to fill for Melissa Barrera, which is basically impossible and always a hard thing, and massive respect to her for that. But so yeah, that's a little bit about Sam's character there. For me, with Mindy's character, I think the actress, very talented, very good, and very good in both of these movies with what she's given. But I do think the whole, okay, this character's supposed to be the new Randy, just felt a little bit forced. When especially when I first watched Scream 5, I'm like, okay, what are they going to do from here with the franchise? It's been on the shelf for so long. What are they going to do with these new characters? What's something new they're going to add here? And Mindy's character didn't really feel like anything new and fresh, for the most part. So her character, like I said, actress, very talented, did a great job, but still the way her character's written, just feels forced as a new Randy. And then we've also got, Chad, who did a good job in Scream 5, in my opinion. I like him much better in Scream 6, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And then Amber, and then we've got Richie, too. Both very talented, very good in their roles. And I did enjoy Richie's character. We'll talk about that more as this video goes on, for sure, but especially in Scream 6, especially. But I did enjoy Richie's character, and I think he's a very talented actor. We've seen him in some other stuff. We saw him in Oppenheimer recently. And so he's got some good acting chops, and enjoyed him also in this movie as kind of like the the boyfriend who is, I don't want to say like innocent, but a little bit naive in some ways. He tries to play that off. And obviously, gets revealed at the end, spoiler, as one of the killers. But I do enjoy Richie in this movie. Not blown away by his character, but I do think the actor does a great job in this movie still. I think in Scream 5, the radio silence guys do a good job with the kills in Scream 5. I think they're gritty. I think they're brutal. I think they're bloody enough without being way too over the top where it feels a little silly for a Scream movie. Because, we've come to know and love what Scream does best. Yeah, they're mostly knife kills. And yeah, they're not always that bloody. Scream 4, a little bit different. But still, I think they do a good job with continuing kind of the tone of the kills and also modernizing the kills in Scream 5. And they're fun, I think, in Scream 5. Another gripe for me in Scream 5, I would say, is this movie, obviously we've got the kind of subplot of, Gail and Dewey. Where are they? What have they been up to after all these years? They broke up in real life. But what are their characters up to in this movie, right? After Scream 4. And, we already knew some information about them going into Scream 5 from the previous movies. But yeah, I think this movie spends a little bit too much time on the whole Dewey and Gail breakup thing. Should we have broken up? Should we not have? Back and forth. I kind of, I regret it. I don't regret it in these feelings. He's watching her on the news. He's drinking himself to death in his trailer now. It's just like, I think they spent a little bit too much time on that in this movie. Not a bad subplot per se, but, just focusing on that instead of some other aspects, a little bit too much in my opinion. But, well, I guess while we're on the topic of Dewey, we can talk about Dewey's death. So to me in Scream 5, one of the biggest gripes I have is not that they killed off Dewey by any means. Having the movie have stakes, actually being ballsy enough to do something like that, props. But the way they went about killing off Dewey's character, to me, is one of the dumbest moments in the entire franchise to me, and a huge black eye on Scream 5. Scream, whatever you want to call it. I just think how it all went down. I know Dewey's character has always kind of been this silly, goofy, clumsy guy. I mean, this isn't Jean-Claude Van Damme in his prime, right? But still, the way it all went down with the phone call, let me take a phone call while I'm, let me check my text messages while I'm trying to kill this murderer. That was kind of stupid to me. The overdramatic reloading in that scene was stupid to me. I just didn't like that scene. Obviously, when you factor everything in as well, that was supposed to be Amber from what I remember killing Dewey right there. Really? Come on now. I know Dewey's had some nerve damage. He's been through some shit. He's survived a lot of movies and been stabbed many times, but still, a trained cop, a pretty big man. I mean, he's not a massive guy, but he's a man, he's strong, and Amber's character is pretty small. And I know it's Ghostface, we've always seen this in the franchise. Every Ghostface, when they're under the mask, they're always kind of the same height, the same strength, almost have superhuman strength. I get it, and it's a movie. I get it, but still, weird, right? That whole and just his death. Did not enjoy that. Definitely one of the downers in these two movies and one of the worst parts of these two movies, possibly in the franchise to me, So, and of course, at the end of Scream 5, we find ourselves back at Stu Macher's house, right? Which is, meta, and it does represent Scream, this movie, Scream 5. And makes sense. I understand the repetitiveness in this movie and how that makes sense with what they're going for. But still, to me, it surprises me when a new team who's making this movie kind of lets that happen in a way. I don't know how much that was forced on by the studio, whether it was not forced on at all or whether it was. I don't really know. But still, you would think for a new team to come on to such an iconic franchise with so many fans that they would want to take a bigger swing to potentially have the chance to have such an epic moment and such a big imprint on such a legendary franchise. I wish they would have taken a little bit of a bigger swing and gone with something a little different while still maintaining what they're going for here with that repetitiveness of a requel, remake, whatever you want to call it, and add in some things that we're used to seeing. But going back to Stu Macher's house, it's going to be damn near impossible to top the original. So regardless what you're doing here, it's going to be like, well, that ending was okay, but same place as the original, same kind of vibes as the original. One of the reveals of Richie happens in kind of the same way as the original. And it's just, it's just like, okay, not that great. Of course, we also get a lot of Billy in Scream 5. He comes, shows up in Scream 6 as well. And to me, great to see Skeet back. Huge fan of his. He was a great Ghostface in the original, of course, but I don't know. Kind of feels like some overdone fan service there. Probably could have done without the whole like Billy flashback stuff, linking him to, Sam's character in this movie. But, it's okay. Not terrible, but, I could have probably done without it, I would probably say. I do enjoy at the end. There was a shocking moment, like when Liv says, they're kind of thinking, oh, Liv might be the killer. Where was she? What was she doing? And she's like, I'm not the killer. And Amber says, I know. And then shoots her in the head. Love that moment. That was like a nice little shocking moment. One of the best moments of the ending for me. Just the whole end scene at the house and everything. I enjoyed that. That was fun. But just to piggyback off of what I was saying just a second ago, I feel like in Scream 5 and a bit in Scream 6, definitely, especially with some of the characters that they had coming back. Feels like they were becoming too overly obsessed with the whole fan service, legacy stuff with these movies, and especially in Scream 5. I feel like there just wasn't enough new, fresh things, and I get why. I get what they were going for, but still felt like there was too much of that. That stuff is great, and anytime you have a Halloween movie, a Friday the 13th movie, there should be some of that in there to kind of link all the movies together, or at least link yourself to the original in a way, or whatever you want to do, or whatever timeline you're in. But still, when it becomes overdone, kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth in a way. But anyways, Scream 5, there it is. Let's now talk about Scream 6. So Scream 6, lot to talk about here. So Scream 6, a little more financially successful. Both these movies did very well at the box office, but Scream 6 was a little more financially successful than Scream 5. People just kind of seem to enjoy the new, fresh approach in a way in Scream 6 a bit, or just really wanted to see, what happened to the characters after Scream 5. But yeah, Scream 6 finally kind of pushes the boundaries a little bit, with this production, with the writing, with the ideas behind the movie. Of course, we're in New York now. A new setting we've never seen before. Very different for the Scream franchise. Yeah, we went to LA and Hollywood. This is very different. Usually we're used to like a smallish town. Everybody kind of knows everybody. Stuff's going down around this high school. That kind of a feel to it. But now it's like we're away from all of that. We're in this big city. And New York, of course, gives you that unique layer to the movie where it's like, even amongst all of these people, you can still feel so alone because it's so overcrowded and people just don't really care about you. You could die on a subway. Other movies have portrayed this too, and people, you could go round and around and nobody would even know because it just gives you that feel in that big city, and that fits Scream and a horror movie very, very well. But of course, in Scream 6, no Sidney Prescott for the first time. We're not going to get into all the stuff that went behind that and everything. That's not really, a part of this movie. But we get not really a part of this video that I'm trying to make here. No Sydney in this movie. So a little different there. Not a creative choice, but more of a behind-the-scenes financial thing that happened that kind of forced their hand to tweak the story, I'm assuming, a little bit. But the intro to Scream 6, man, one of the best parts of these two movies. Arguably the best part of these two movies. I love the intro to Scream 6. We got Samara Weaving in the intro. Does a great job playing that like nervous film teacher. Makes some dumb decisions, of course, but what's a horror movie without some dumb decisions? Love that intro. Great setting. Get the fake out there that just kind of like blows your hair back a little bit. You're like, damn, what are we going to see now? What is this? This is new. Ghostface just pulled off his mask and we didn't cut. This is crazy. Bloody intro. Then we go back to the killer's apartment. We get some stab stuff thrown in there, which is fun. Jason Takes Manhattan, little cameo there, which is fun. And then Who Gives a Fuck About Movie line. We get that. The bloody friend in the fridge, which is gruesome. Just a fun intro, new, fresh, to add on to this we're in New York thing. So much that's just new and fresh. And right off the bat with Scream 6, you're like, I am ready for this. I'm buckled up and ready to go. That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, we're on to something here. Like, damn, is this going to be my second favorite movie in the franchise? And the movie continues, and we go from there. So I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but the core 4 in Scream 6, much better. Like I said, more reps with the franchise, more reps with the material, more reps with their character. I'm sure after Scream 5, they were thinking like, what could I have done better with my character? Talking amongst each other, talking amongst the production, getting ready for Scream 6. What could I have done better? How could I improve? Some of the characters were already great, I thought, in Scream 5, like I said. But core 4, in my opinion, much better in Scream 6. And I like their chemistry together and everything. It was great. Chad, really, really good in Scream 6. Really enjoyed his character. He's just became that really fun character who you root for. You want to see, do some badass stuff in the franchise. Really enjoying the core 4. Sam, Melissa Barrera really wanted to bring it in Scream 6. She's a competitive person, clearly. I respect that. She heard some criticism about her character in Scream 5. Not all of it warranted. It's just when you're trying to sort of fill Sydney's shoes, it's some, dipshits are going to be mad regardless. But she still did a solid job in Scream 5, but really brought it in Scream 6, and that was on purpose. And the whole production said they felt a different vibe from her. She crushed it in Scream 6. Really good job. And you've got scenes like the Quickie Mart scene. That was a fun scene. Really enjoyed that. It was gritty, of course. Reminds you of the Jurassic Park scene with the raptors in the kitchen. Has some of those same feelings, vibes, hide and go seek moments. Just a cool moment there, some good kills. It's brutal. Ghostface using a shotgun, even more so, reminds you this is going to feel different. This is going to be a different movie you're not used to seeing. And that whole Quickie Mart scene, bodega scene, whatever you want to call it, was fun. I really enjoyed that. That was a good time, definitely. And then also we get that scene with the ladder, right? In the apartment where they're trying to get across the ladder. Of course, the girlfriend falls to her death at the end of it, but a bloody, intense scene. Definitely a scene where I'm sitting in the theater, gripping my seat, white knuckling it. This is intense. They're showing tension on screen well. This was made well. I like this scene. Very good job with that whole ladder scene. Enjoyed that. And Scream 6, like Scream 5, has some fun gore. There's a lot of bloody kills in this. It's gruesome. And yeah, some good fun gore. And, they did a good job with that aspect, in my opinion. We also get introduced to this little Ghostface shrine, I think that was a good time. Yeah, I talked a little bit earlier about the overusage of fan service in Scream 5. I think in this, you could argue that that is a little over the top. Oh, look, this is Randy's Randy's t-shirt from the video store. This is Stumacher's robe. This is that, But to me, it felt like it fit. It felt fun. I enjoyed it. Maybe was it a little overdone, but I still had a good time with the whole Ghostface shrine thing that was introduced in Scream 6. We also have Ghostface talking to Gale for the first time in Scream 6. That was kind of interesting and unique. Another fresh new thing. I thought the whole moment with Ghostface and Gale in her apartment was also really fun and kind of tense too. They're having the standoff, the big fight. I was kind of thinking Gale was going to die there. That was a fun moment. I had a good time with that, and overall enjoyed that whole fight sequence and stuff. Yeah, there was some decisions there from Gale that were a little iffy at times, but still. It didn't ruin the moment for me. I enjoyed that. We also have the subway scene, which emphasizes even more. I kind of talked about this earlier. The loneliness of being amongst so many people in a big city and people who just don't care about you, right? Mindy's getting killed on a subway. And yeah, it's Halloween time, and you're seeing all the costumes and people are wearing fake blood. I get it, but still, it even more emphasizes that scariness of being in a big city while terrible things are going on, and how even with so many people around you, you still kind of have a hard time calling for help. But that subway scene was fun. Also, we get to see all of the famous iconic characters, which was cool too. Glad their legal team was able to figure that out. That was fun too. But to me, another example in Scream 6 of the massive ups and downs in these two movies is the end of the movie, the reveal. Some of the fights at the end were fun, but specifically the reveal at the end of the movie. Richie's family revealed as the 3 Ghostface killers, right? To me, it was kind of just one of those moments. I remember watching it live in the movie theater vividly. I was kind of just like, really? The movie was doing so much here. It had so much momentum. And I felt like it just stopped right there. The momentum and like my love for the movie just like hit the brakes, dude. And I was kind of just like, oh man. Like that just felt too easy of a reveal, too generic, too basic, not as shocking. I like, to me, I figure like when you have a $20-30 million budget and you have all of these people in a room, I feel like you can come up with something. With all of these, like all these people, you can pick their mind. You can come up with brainstorm ideas. You gotta be able to come up with something better. Not necessarily, it doesn't need to be some crazy M. Night Shyamalan shocking twist. No, but something where the audience is like, damn, that's good. I did not think about that. But the reveal at the end of Scream 6 links the Ghostfaces back to a character that was fine, Richie, but not a character the franchise really cares about all that much, in my opinion. Nor did I all that much. So it's like, okay, you guys are linked back to this character. Like, that's cool, but that's really the end? The big reveal is this? So the movie definitely fell flat for me at the end. And of course, one of the biggest gripes about Scream 6, the plot armor, right? So essentially, not killing off anybody in Scream 6. Of course, when you don't have real stakes in a horror movie like this, it just kind of feels a little cheap. It kind of feels a little bit less scary, less intense. It's kind of like, oh, you're just going to let everybody survive. Like, where's the tension here? The plot armor kind of takes away a lot. You know, Chad getting stabbed like a pincushion 25 times and then just, you know, smiling at the end. I'll see you guys in the hospital. I just got to get a couple Band-Aids. I'll be good. And then, you know, even Mindy, she runs over. She's like, hey, guys, how did it go in the Ghostface shrine? I'm here. I got gutted 5 minutes ago, but I'm here, guys. Must be some great morphine. But still, the plot armor in Scream 6, excuse me, you know, big gripe. One of the valleys definitely in these two movies. So that's Scream 5 and Scream 6. Of course, there's been a lot of drama with Scream 7 and whatnot, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in Scream 7. We don't know exactly which legacy characters are going to continue in Scream 7. Obviously, we've had all the information circling about Melissa Barrera, Sam's character, and how she's not going to return. Nothing's official. I don't think anything is really, really official. Her character probably won't return, but some of the others, Chad, Mindy, they might. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm really interested to see Kevin Williamson directing Scream 7. Of course, the writer from the OG and some of the OG movies. Sydney has already been confirmed to come back, so excited. I'm really looking forward to Scream 7. But there you go. That is kind of the rise and fall of Scream 5 and Scream 6 through my eyes in a way. Some of the peaks and valleys, there's a lot of them. I enjoy both of these movies, regardless of the flaws. Overall, I do enjoy them. I enjoy Scream 6 for sure better than Scream 5, but both movies are flawed regardless, but still a good time. Radio Silence still did a very solid job with both of these movies. But like I said, definitely some ups and downs. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Again, my name is Matt. If you enjoy horror content like this, make sure you subscribe. Check out one of these videos next to me if you want more content from me right now. But anyways, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.